She shelved stories for a living, yet the greatest one was unfolding right behind her. Ilara, the head librarian of the Redwood Lane Library, believed she knew every secret the small town held. They were tucked away in whispered gossip between the aisles, scribbled in the margins of forgotten books, or confessed over a cup of lukewarm tea in the library's quiet corner. She was the keeper of stories, both written and unwritten. But the story of the library itself, the one that had been breathing in the dust and shadows for nearly a century, was one she had never read. It began on a Tuesday, the quietest day of the week. An old, leather-bound book with no title and no call number appeared on the returns cart. Ilara frowned. She prided herself on a meticulous system. Nothing went in or out of her library without her knowledge. The book was beautiful, its dark green cover worn, smooth with age, a simple, embossed tree on the front. Curious, she opened it. The pages were blank. All of them. She ran her fingers over the creamy, thick paper. A faint scent of vanilla and old wood rising to meet her. Thinking it was a misplaced journal, she set it aside in her office, intending to put up a notice on the community board. The next day, it was back on the cart. She was certain she had locked it in her office. A shiver of unease traced its way down her spine. Again, she opened it. The pages were still blank. This time, she locked it in her desk drawer. On Thursday, it wasn't on the cart. A wave of relief washed over her. It was just a prank, perhaps by some of the local teenagers. But as she was closing up for the night, she saw it, sitting squarely in the middle of the main reading table, bathed in the moonlight filtering through the tall arched windows. Her heart hammered against her ribs. This time, when she opened it, there was writing. A single sentence, inelegant, looping cursive, appeared on the first page. It read, "Ask about the girl who disappeared in the spring of 28. Chills, cold and sharp, prickled her skin, the spring of 1928. That was the year the library's original benefactor. Tadeo's Finch had vanished without a trace. A local legend everyone knew. But the story never mentioned a girl. Alada's nights were now spent in the library's archives, a place she usually avoided due to its musty air, and the eerie silence that felt heavier than anywhere else in the building. Armed with a flashlight and the mysterious green book, she delved into Old Town records, newspaper clippings, and faded photographs. The book became her guide. Each morning, a new clue would appear on its pages. The cornerstone holds more than the foundation. Look for the finch who didn't fly. The clock tower sees all, but tells no tales of the night. Her investigation drew the attention of Julian, a history professor who was a library regular, ostensibly researching a book on local architecture. He was observant, with kind eyes that seemed to notice the dark circles forming under hers and the frantic energy that now buzzed around her. He'd offer her coffee and ask casual questions about her research, his interest seemingly academic. But Ilara felt a different kind of curiosity from him, one that was more personal. One afternoon, as she was examining blueprints of the library, Julian pointed to a small, unmarked room on the original plans, hidden behind the main reference section. "That's odd," he said, his voice low. "It's not on any of the updated layouts. It's as if it was walled off." Together, they tapped along the wall he indicated. It sounded hollow. Using a crowbar from the maintenance closet, they pried away the wood paneling, revealing a dusty, hidden doorway. Inside was a small, forgotten office. A thick layer of dust covered everything. On a small wooden desk sat a silver locket. Ilara picked it up, her fingers trembling as she opened it. Inside was a tiny, faded photograph of a young woman with a radiant smile, and on the other side, an inscription, "My dearest Lily. Forever yours, T. Thaddeus." But who was Lily? Así Finanzuer, the green book, which she had brought with her, flickered. A new sentence materialized on the page. "My name was Lily, and he didn't abandon me. He was trying to save me." The story that unraveled from the book and the artifacts in the hidden room was one of secret love and terrible tragedy. Lily was a young librarian, a free spirit loved by everyone, who had captured the heart of the wealthy Thaddeus Finch. They planned to run away together, but her brother, a man consumed by jealousy over Thaddeus's wealth and influence, discovered their plan. The night they were supposed to leave, He confronted them in the library. In the ensuing struggle, a heavy bookshelf toppled, and Lily was trapped. Her brother, panicking, fled, leaving Thaddeus to a terrible choice. He couldn't move the shelf alone. Heartbroken and desperate, he sealed the room, hoping to protect her dignity and the secret of their love before disappearing from Redwood Lane forever. A broken man. The green book was her journal, and her spirit, tied to the place she loved most, had been waiting for someone to finally read her story. As Ilara closed the book for the last time, she saw new words forming on the final page. Thank you. Now we can rest. The scent of vanilla and old wood filled the small room one last time, then faded, leaving only the scent of old paper and dust. The next morning, Ilara and Julian stood before the town council. She told them everything, presenting the journal and the locket as proof. The story of Thaddeus and Lily became a new town legend, one of love and sacrifice, not abandonment. A memorial was placed in the library garden, and the hidden room was preserved. In the quiet that followed, Ilara found that the library wasn't just a place of stories anymore. It was a place where stories could come to life, where the past could speak to the present. And as she and Julian spent more time together, poring over old maps and sharing quiet smiles between the shelves, she realized that her own story was just beginning, the greatest one of all, not unfolding behind her, but right in front of her. She was no longer just the keeper of stories. She was living one. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more tales from our Library of Imagination. See you next time.